If you're currently going through any hardships, this video is for you. How do I start this? I know that what you're going through probably seems like the end of the world right now. It seems hard. It seems like almost a hole you can't really get out of. But believe it or not, it's a blessing. And maybe it's just that I'm an optimist and I like to change perspectives. But I've come to believe that every bad thing you go through is actually a good thing because it shapes who you are, it molds you. The same way that to make a strong sword, you have to put it through the fire and you have to blast it with a hammer, is the same way that you, through hardship, will grow as a man. And I'm young, I'm 18, so I don't know much about life yet. But I do know that all the times that I've had something difficult in my life, something that I've had to go through, when I look back on it, I'm thankful because I got stronger from it. I got more disciplined from it, more courageous from it. Excuse me. So this is a message to the guy who's watching right now that feels like his life is horrible. Maybe he's in depression, maybe he's obese, maybe he feels like there's no point in living because life is too hard. That's a blessing. If you look at any single man, any single warrior, any single iconic businessman, any single famous athlete, they've all have one thing in common. They struggled. They struggled a lot. When I say a lot, I mean a fucking ton. Why is that? Because the more you struggle, the harder and stronger you become. And the harder and stronger you become, the bigger and taller heights you'll reach. It's back to that old saying, hard times create strong men. It's true. When a society became weak and complacent because they had everything going for them, they had food, they had water, they had utilities, that's when you conquer the society. That's how Rome got invaded, and that's how Rome got destroyed. The men had become weak and complacent because everything was going so well in Rome. When Rome was at its peak was when Rome was conquering everything. They were still trying to make a name for themselves. And as soon as they got comfortable, the decline happens. If you watch MMA, if you're a fan like me of the UFC, if you look at Conor McGregor, I believe 2016 Conor McGregor, that hungry motherfucker, he was unbeatable. There was nobody that could beat him. His mindset, just you could see it in his eyes, the hunger he had. He was going to kill you. Fast forward to now. No hate to him, but he's completed life. He has a ton of children, a beautiful wife, millions and millions of dollars. He's the face of the UFC. He can't have that hunger anymore. So you see professionally in his UFC career, he declines. He's winning less. He's become a worse fighter. And it's all because of comfort, complacency. So you have that above Conor McGregor. You have that above people that are already where you want to be. You don't have complacency. You're constantly stressed. You're constantly sad, depressed because of where you are. But that's the blessing, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Use that. Be hungry for what you want to achieve. Because if not, if you ask for easy times, if you wish that life was more smooth sailing and less complicated, easy times will create weak men. And so if that's what you want, you'll become a weak man. And that's okay. Each man has to make that decision. But if you want to be a strong man, if you want to be a capable man, if you want to be a man that reaches the heights that you want to reach, you have to go through hard times. There's a quote that says, everybody loves the view, but nobody loves the climb. So everybody wants to be on top of Mount Everest and see the view and say, look, I made it on top of Mount Everest. You didn't make it on top of Mount Everest. You didn't make it on top of Mount Everest. Neither did you. I did. But nobody wants to go through the climb. Nobody wants to go through the months of freezing cold, through the frostbite, through seeing people dying. Another quote, what was it? Everybody's jealous of where you're at, but nobody's jealous of what you had to do to get there. So, for example, you may want to play basketball and you're jealous of Michael Jordan since he's the GOAT of the sport. But you're not jealous about the countless hours and sweat that he put into the game. Because if you were, you'd be doing the same exact thing. Make people be jealous of where you are in the future. Because they won't know what you've done to achieve it. But you'll know. You'll know that the hard times came through and you've reaped the rewards. See you, bro.